we can go ahead and introduce our judge for the evening. And that's like.
Just a second, Kevin, while I figure out how to share my screen.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm getting close.
So tonight, Kevin is being our judge, Kevin Karzin, from through the magic of Zoom. He's a professional photographer from the Santa Clarita Valley. He has won numerous awards, including PPC 2018 Photojournalism Photographer of the Year, 2018 Top 10 Photographer of California, and 2018 Prime Image Collection, and PPA 2018 Western District Photography Competition, and probably lots more since, right, Kevin?
There are a few more since then, yes. But that's okay.
We didn't ask you for a current bio, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
He's been president of the Santa Clarita Valley Photography Association since 2014, 1 year before I became president of this. So we're together in this. And he is currently the president of PPC, which is Professional Photographers of California. He is just got his. Did you just get your PPA? Master.
I've got my master's degree, I've got my photographic craftsman degree, and I've got my certified professional photographer degree as well. I'm currently a juror in training with PPA, and I'm about halfway through that. And so hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be through that program and on my way to looking at photographs that way. So a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to turn things over to Paul now.
You want to do the definition?
Oh, for sure. Yes. So the definition for photojournalism for us is extremely detailed, but it is photojournalism entries shot consistent images with informative content and emotional impact, reflecting the human presence in our world. The journalistic storytelling value of the image shall receive priority over pictorial quality. In the interest of credibility, images that misrepresent the truth, such as those from events or activities specifically arranged for photography or subjects directed or hired for photography, are not eligible. Entrants are cautioned that the opinion includes any images that appear to be arranged or posed to the judges. So don't enter those. Operations, any techniques that add, relocate, replace, or remove any element of the original image, except by cropping, are not permitted. The only allowable modifications are the removal of dust, scratches, or digital noise, restoration of the existing appearance of the original scene, sharpening that is not obvious, and complete conversion to grayscale model. Other derivations, including infrared, are not eligible. All allowed adjustments must appear natural. And restoration of the appearance of the original scene may include techniques such as HDR, focus stacking, and document burning, provided they do not alter the contents of the original scene and the results of natural. Borders are optional, but must be 3 to 4 pixels in width and must be white or a shade of gray. So hopefully you guys read that all before you enter your pictures. And so now, without any further ado, we are going to go into the judging portion of the evening.
All right. Hey, Kathy, do you know how to make this bar disappear?
Yes,
Seems like
go over here to more
more.
and go down to hide floating meeting controls.
Oh, okay. All right.
And here's this.
Okay, Kevin, we'll start with novice, and I'll do a quick run through, and then we'll take it from the top. So
Okay, sounds good.
Here's a quick run through. By the way, Kevin, did you want to say a few words before we started?
Yeah, I can if you'd like. So for those of you who don't know, I had a 14-year career at a newspaper where I worked myself up from a staff photographer to the photo editor. And after that, I left and I went to the Associated Press in Los Angeles, where I worked more or less off and on for them for about the next 5 years or so. So if you count my 2 years at the community newspaper or the community college newspaper I worked at, and then the 14 years, and then 5 years at the Associated Press, about 21 years working as a photojournalist. 19 years were professional. So I don't know, maybe I'm a little tougher than some judges in this thing. I know what I would like to see run in a newspaper, and I still kind of have that philosophy today. So I'm looking forward to seeing the images you guys have come up with, and I'll give you my honest feedback on how I feel about it. And sorry about the dog in the background, but it's playtime at our house, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, I'm ready to go if you are.
Okay, here we go. Here's a quick run through. I'm gonna make him disappear. And here's the first one.
Okay, and are there titles to these, or you guys don't? That doesn't really matter.
We have titles, but normally we don't share that with the judge.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So, this is a nice shot of this, I don't know, bat-winged aircraft. I don't know what this line is that's going through it from the tail back to the back of the aircraft. These are really hard to photograph because number one, you only see the bottom of the aircraft, and number two, it's very static. You can't really tell. You don't know if it's frozen. It looks like it's just frozen in air. So sometimes it's nice to have a background where you can show movement, and I think that would improve the overall quality of the image. Exposure looks pretty nice on this. You have the highlights in the front, and then it transposes to the shadow in the background. You can kind of see some of the flaps on the wings operating. It's just, to me, it's a very static photograph. And this is another one of those images that's hard to get. You're in a dark place. It looks like the bartender is taking an order or talking to somebody, but unfortunately he's got his hand to his ear, so I don't know if he's picking the wax out of there or what's going on. But again, the exposure is pretty nice. I mean, this is a hard thing to get lit. You have the lights on the top. Just the bottoms of the lights are kind of blown out, but that's expected in this kind of scene. So it's obviously dark, and you can see the skyline in the background. I'm not sure where this is at, but it looks like it's in the downtown area someplace. But yeah, nice work, nice exposure. I just don't know what kind of story this image is telling. Like I said, I would maybe look for a different shot of the bartender, maybe him mixing up drinks or pouring a drink or something. Like I said, this looks like he's, got his finger in his ear, and it kind of reminds me of that scene in an airplane where the guy goes, "Get that finger out of here. You don't know where that finger's been." And so anyway, that's a little humor. I'm sorry. Next one, please. Nice basketball shot, good action. The guy with the ball is elevated pretty high. My big critique on this is you got to get your verticals vertical and your horizontals horizontal. This image looks like it's tilted, and I know that's hard to do because you're pointing your camera up so you can get the whole scene. But you know, that background, that horizontal line in the background is at, I don't know, maybe a 10% part of an angle, and you got to get that straight because it looks like everything's falling to the right. But again, good action shot. The basketball player in the air looks nice and sharp. The guy underneath the basket, he's a little soft, but you know, you're probably using a wide aperture, and that's to be expected in a basketball shot. All right, next one. Okay, I think on this, the women there on the steps, they need to be in focus. Those women are out of focus. It looks like your focus spot is on the main entrance sign in the background. So you got to remember that whatever our subject is, whatever you're trying to show, that needs to be in focus. And that's my criticism of this. This is, you know, it's a nice shot. I don't know that it tells much of a story. Maybe a close-up of one of the women would have been better. Again, on the top half of the image, the horizontal lines are tilting down to the right side of the image. So we really got to work on getting that straightened out. And you can crop and straighten that out in post, and you're allowed to do that in photojournalism. But the big thing on this image is those two ladies they're not sharp, they're out of focus, and that's where we need to work on is getting your main subjects in focus so your viewers know what you're looking at. All right, next. This is a nice capture. I love the eyes on the catcher. You know, that's nice and sharp. The glove's nice and sharp. It's too bad the ball is a little out of focus. But again, that's really hard to do. But I think you captured a nice capture here. This would be a good what I would call a feature shot of maybe of a story of the catcher. You know, we did a lot of times in the newspaper. We were told, go out, so and so's the star catcher on this team, and go get some shots of him so we can do a story and have some art to run with it. And this would be a good shot to do that in. So I congratulate the maker on this one. It did a really nice job. And this is a nice shot of a little kids cheerleading competition. It looks like, again, this I'll say the same thing that I said about the aircraft. Is there's no movement in this image. It's very static. She's up in the air. You froze her, which was good. I would really like to see a different angle on this. Get as low as possible and make this kid looks like she's way up in the air jumping. The other thing is you have this foot on the right-hand side of the image that's coming out of no place. And I know you can't remove that in this category. It looks like you did about the best you can do with that. I might have maybe burned that down a little bit and made it a little darker because it's awfully bright. And that's one of the first places my eye goes to is that foot coming out of no place. So my suggestion on this would have been to get a little bit lower, and that will make the subject look like she's really high in the sky, and that might make a little different look to the photograph. Maybe make it more dramatic. All right, next, please. This is a classic softball pitcher shot. She's moving. You got her in the right position with the ball up in the air. Her hair is flying in the background, so you get the sense that she's really moving, and the concentration on her face is really nice. The background is nice and soft and out of focus, so it doesn't compete. It looks like your verticals on your fence are nice and straight, so that that's all a big plus. Um, Maybe a little more field on the left-hand side of the image, so it doesn't look like she's coming right out of the picture. But all in all, I think this is a very nice capture. Next one, please. Okay, here we are back at a bar again, and this one is a little more interesting. Again, we have the same problem where the whole image is tilting to the right. This you can see this bar sign of the bar. That's got to be dead level in your image, and that can be done in cropping. Um, Again, another nice job at getting the exposure done. The bartenders are a little dark. But I think that's okay. That kind of shows the ambience and the look of the bar. I like the drinks that are here in the foreground. They're in focus as long as same as with the bartender. I'm not sure what he's doing, but looks like he's doing something else, and the guy behind him is his arm is in the way. That's kind of a little distracting. It is a little soft, and it looks like it's moving, so it looks like the shutter speed was kind of slow. But again, on these types of images, especially in competition, you've got to make sure that your horizontals are horizontal and your verticals are vertical. And by that I mean the horizontals it's got to be straight and it's got to be level, and the vertical lines in this one here, they're leaning from the bottom left to the upper right. And that's an easy fix in your post-production. But again, I commend you for getting a very good capture and very good exposure on something that I'm sure was very hard to do. All right, next. Lovely shot of a guy on his paddleboard with his dog. Exposure is great. The highlights might be a little too hot for my taste. You can bring those down by moving the highlight slider to the left a little bit when you're working on your images. But overall, this is a nice bleeding shot. The dog is nice and sharp. You can see the eyes. The guy is smiling. He's nice and sharp, and you can tell they're both having a great time. All right, next one. Fantastic. This is a great, nice football photograph. Again, my only complaint on this one is don't stand up when you shoot these games. Get down on your knees. Get on your belly if you have to. This guy, with a lower angle, this guy would look like he's 20 feet in the air. And it would overall change the whole dynamic of the image. The exposure's nice, handled nicely. You've got detail on all the whites, and thank you. And the guy that's trying to tackle him and missing him, yes, he's sharp too, and his shoes are white, but you have detail there. The background is maybe a little overexposed, and again, you can fix that with your highlight slider while you're post processing. And again, look at the bottom of the fence line. Okay, it's lower on the left-hand side and it's higher on the right-hand side. I can't stress it enough how important it is to get your horizon line straight and level. It's hard to do. It's hard to shoot that way, but there's ways to fix that in post. And that totally falls within the rules of photojournalism, because you're not doing anything that's illegal. All you're doing is you're straightening your horizontals and you're straightening your verticals. And but this is just a nice action shot. Next, please. This is a good story. I might have tried to get a little different angle on this where this post that's holding up the chain isn't blocking the guy's sign. You just move a few more steps over to your left, and I think you have a straight on shot of the gentleman holding the "Don't Let Billy Die Behind Bars" sign. And I think you would have had another cleaner shot of the sign with the elephant in the background. Again, the maker did a good job on using the shallow depth of field to blow out the background. So there's really no competing elements in the background. The little white area behind the left of the elephant sign is a little blown out, and I see the man, I see the elephant sign, and then I see that white blur in the background. Don't be afraid to use the burn tool and burn that down a little bit to make it so it's not so bright. Squint your eyes, turn your image upside down, look and see what is distracting you, and that will help making your images a little bit better. Next. This would be a really nice if I told one of my staffers to go out and get a environmental portrait of this blacksmith, and they came back with something like that, like this, I would be really happy. This is a nice shot. It's too bad we can't see more of his face. So maybe a lower angle might have been able to work that, but it is what it is. I like the overall tone of the image because it looks like it's in a dark blacksmith type environment. And I think the maker did a very fine job on capturing a good image that would, definitely be a piece of photojournalism that would make any photo editor happy to run in the paper the next day. All right.
Okay, that's it. So I'll put that
Okay.
on here. I can't make it a little bit bigger. All right. You can follow
Okay.
me.
So first, second, third, and honorable mention. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll do them one at a time so we can.
Okay.
follow
So
them.
let's do the catcher for first place. That one right there.
All right, that is the catcher. Dale Beck, first place.
And second place would be the vaulting over the defender, I guess is what it's called, the football player.
Okay, this one here.
Yes.
This is Vaulting Over the Tackler by Dale Beck, second place.
Right. Third place I'll give to the blacksmith.
Okay, that is called The Blacksmith by Suzanne Leroy, third place.
Okay. Honorable mention to the basketball slam dunk.
And that's an HM. That is
And-
called Slam Dunk, Dale Beck, HM.
Honorable mention to the windup.
You read one?
The windup, the softball player.
Okay, that is the windup. Kevin
And-
Eslick, HM. Kevin Eslick, HM.
And then honorable mention to the man and the dog on the paddleboard, please.
You know, that an HM also?
Yes.
That's Dalmatian Paddleboard, Suzanne Leroy, HM.
All right. Good job, guys.
Was that Kevin?
I said, very good job. That was,
Oh,
it was a good round there.
all right. Okay, moving on with the amateur next, and there's 3 in this class.
Okay.
And we'll do a quick run through, which will be real quick.
Okay.
And there's the first one.
Very nice action shot here on this one. The cowboy on the left or I'm sorry, on the right has got the rope wrapped around the calf, and the trailing cowboy has got his little rope ring ready to throw on there. So nice capture. I might have cropped a little bit from the bottom and got a little closer to the hoofs of the horses. But I think the maker did a good job. The verticals look pretty vertical, maybe a slight tilt to the right, but definitely a nice shot. All right, next.
Oh.
Yeah, this looks crazy. This is the first time I saw this, I smiled. So this is really cool. Nice action shot. You know, this is hard to do because they're moving so fast and you're trying to follow them, and but most everything is I'm not going to say it's tack sharp, but it's sharp enough. And this would be you know, go out and cover this bicycle race, and you come back to the paper with a shot like this, your editors are going to be just loving it. So again, this little white thing in the bottom left is, it's unfortunate that it's there. There's not much you can do about that, and you probably couldn't move too much to get that out. But I would have maybe burned that down a little bit so it wasn't so bright. But this overall, this is a very nice capture. Congratulations, whoever did this one. As looks like almost like the Lone Pine time trials. Nice shot. Really can tell the car's moving. You know, panning is difficult, and the maker did a good job. I mean, look at that number on the side of the car, 008, is nice and sharp. You can tell the movement in the wheels because the spokes are blurred. The background is you can tell that he's moving. So nice job on that. Okay, I'm ready here for awarding these, and we're going to go with the center photograph first as our first place winner.
Okay, and that is called BMS Going Down, Fred Lawson, first place.
Second place to the car on the right.
Okay, that is Willow Practice 1, Fred Lawson, second place.
And third place of the Cowboys with the roping the calf.
And that is That Look by Fred Lawson, third place.
Good job, guys.
Okay, next is Masters. There's 21.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a quick run through.
Wow.
Okay, here's the first one.
All right. Great action. Both the women are tack sharp. The ball is tack sharp. They're both diving. There's sand flying all over the place. This is a really nice image. Look at the horizon on the bar that's going across. That is straight across. You can't get much more level than that. So the photographer did a great job. His horizon is the way it's supposed to be. A lot of action in this image, and the maker did a great job. All right, next. This is another good one. Good capture. The woman firing the gun and all the explosion coming out of the gun. I guess the balloon has already been popped. You can see some of it flying there with the horse. So again, another really good capture. You can see the expression on the woman's face, the expression on the horse. This is nice. So very good. Just, just another great. Love the tongue on the boy playing the goalie. He's trying to block the ball. I would have propped maybe an inch or inch and a half off of the left. Made this a strong vertical. I think that would have been a little stronger, and I think it would have helped me. Right now, when I see that ball, I go to the ball and I go right back to the yellow ball behind it. And I think if we had a tighter prop, that might have stopped that. But this, again, this is a youth soccer thing, and I don't care what people say. That's hard. My grandson plays soccer. I shoot a lot of soccer of him, and this is good. Again, though, I'm going to say, get low, get as low to the ground as you can. Make these little kids look big and huge, and it will change the perspective of your photographs and make them look more professional and more exciting. Next, please. Another good shot of this, good timing. I know these are hard because it's daylight and the sun is probably straight above. But if you got to find a way you can blow out that background so all that stuff in the background doesn't compete with your images. I like the hat coming off. I like the guy's face. I like the horse coming to him. I like the blast coming out of the gun. I don't know. It looks like, I guess he must have missed the balloon because the balloon's still there. But anyway, nice action shot. Next. And this is nice of this man. I don't know if it's a friend of his or maybe a family member that was lost in Vietnam, but him using the pencil to get the guy's name on the paper of William there. I think that's really touching. This is a nice photograph. It tells the story. Again, this is one that if you got an assignment to go cover what was going on at the AV wall and you came back with a photograph like this, I don't think any editor in the world would complain, because this is a nice shot and you've definitely gone out and done what would have been expected of you as a photojournalist. So good job on that. And this looks like a marathon run, maybe with the guy. I think the main subject is a little soft. Again, we got to make these guys, if this is our subject, we got to make sure he's tack sharp. And I think we're just a bit off on that. His face, it looks like the feet on his stomach and his chest are probably the most sharpest part of the whole image. And we really need him to be like that, and especially his face. I think, when you're covering sports, seeing the expression and seeing the faces of the participants and the pain and the agony that they go through is really important. And I think we just missed it here on this one. And again, this kind of looks like he's running downhill. Maybe he is. I just think the image is kind of slanted to the left. But again, that can be, you can fix that in post. So next one, please. I love the faces on this. Sure, it's on a base someplace. I'm not quite sure what's going on. The guy's bald head in the bottom right corner is very distracting, though. I know you're trying to get show that they're taking a picture of these two kids with these two military people. But that's the first place my eye goes is to that bald head. And unfortunately, once you see that, you can't unsee it. And I think the image is the two kids with the soldiers there. So, but you know, a good shot in an extremely difficult situation with the light and the sun and everything. So, you know, again, you can burn the edges down a little bit. You know, unfortunately, your eye goes to the brightest part of the photograph. It goes to words, and then it will go to something that's blurry and out of focus. And that guy's head and hand and phone. The phone's not so bad, but the brightness on the hand and the hot spot on the top of the man's head, that's like the brightest part of the whole image. And unfortunately, that's where the eye goes. So don't be afraid to burn the edges down a little bit when you guys are making these prints. Nice action shot of a barrel race. I think our verticals are pretty straight, and our horizontals are pretty, you know, pretty level. She's got a great look on her face. The horse is, you know, ready to make the turn. The hoofs are up. So very nice. And then, you know, the Pacific Coast Barrel Racing Association, you know, this would be a great shot for them to have on their cover or something, because, you know, the person riding the horse is sharp and has got a great look on her face. Her hair is flying. The horse's hair is flying. The tail is, you know, flying away, and you can tell that they're ready to make the turn. So I commend the maker on this. He or she did a great job. Another, you know, fantastic volleyball shot. I don't know that this one is as sharp as the first one we saw, with the two ladies diving for the ball. Again, this is a hard thing to photograph. Action moves fast, and but you know, and again, another nice action shot. I love the sand being flown up in the background. The other woman in the background she's focusing on the ball as well. So good job on this. And as you can see, you know, this one, I think this one might be just a little bit underexposed. Like to see him a little bit brighter in the photograph, and you can lighten up stuff. I think that's within the rules. You can dodge and you know, maybe just boost the exposure up a little bit. This is great because the ball looks like it's ready to wrap his wrist. Um, he's sharp, the ball's sharp. And then, you know, you've got the sand in the background that's coming off of his back and his feet and stuff. So very nice. Again, beach volleyball, or any volleyball for that matter, is a hard subject to photograph. And the volleyball shots we've seen so far have been really, really good. This is another example of where, if you're on your knees or you're on your stomach, this guy looks like he's a mile high in the sky making the block of this ball. This one, unfortunately, the photographer is standing up, and it's just a straight shot, and it's just not dramatic. And it's just not dramatic because you're at the wrong angle. Get on your stomach, get down on your knees, make these athletes look like they're superstars and they're huge. You look at the Sports Illustrated magazines, the ESPN magazines, it's all the same. These guys that make it in that profession, they are on their knees, on their butts, on the sideline, making the athletes look huge. I think we could crop a little from the left, probably to just pass the ball and get all of that out of there, because that does nothing for your photograph. I love his face. I love his hand on getting ready to block the ball, but you got to make these guys look dramatic. So if you're not getting low when you're shooting sports, give it a try, and I bet you're going to see your images start looking a lot more dramatic, and you'll see a big improvement. Next one, please. And I'll say the same thing with these ladies dancing. Get down. So they, look at this little girl here on the right. Get down to her eye level and make all the other ones look big. This would be a good shot that you could have done with a slow shutter speed that really showed the motion of the dresses swaying, which I think would have been nice. Again, I think this might be a little underexposed. I would like to see the color a little more richer. But guys, these are all, this was shot with the photographer standing up at normal head height. Don't be afraid to get low. Your images will look a lot better and they will look more interesting. But nice job on this anyway. Go ahead, next. Another good little soccer action. Both these kids are going for the ball. I'll say it again. Get down on the ground. Make these kids look huge. But nice action shot. Your exposure looks pretty good. I see these kids and the positions that they get their body into, and I could probably do that one time and I wouldn't be able to get up again. So, but this is a nice job. You did good. This is another great volleyball shot. She's sharp. She's got her hands in a fist. The ball is wrapping around the hand. Very, very good. Again, with this one, I might have cropped a little bit on both sides just to get rid of, that guy on the left. Maybe cropped right to where it says white craw and right at the craw, and maybe a little bit on the right-hand side where these two black things are not in the photograph. But again, look at the difference between this photograph and the last one. Photographer here is shooting from a lower angle, so she looks like she is a lot bigger and a lot taller than she probably is. And this is the kind of stuff that makes your images more dramatic. And when you have a dramatic image like this, it'll go a long way. So nice job on that. Same thing with this one. Again, the photographer's at a lower angle. This guy isn't as high, but look at the concentration on his face. He's getting ready to get his hand up to knock that ball back up in the air so somebody can get it knocked over the net. Again, I might have cropped a little bit from the right and made this maybe a square image or so. So you had, everything right in the proper third. Nice job on the background. You're using a wide enough aperture that you're blurring the background so there's no competing elements in the background for this photograph. So again, nice job. So the looks like a play at first base where the runner's diving back to the bag on a pickoff. I'm not sure that the Bakersfield guy is as sharp as I would want him. The ball is definitely out of focus. It looks like his glove is a little out of focus. Really you gotta get your camera set on that guy's face and get it locked on the first baseman. And then, so I don't know if you're using back button focus. If you're not, you should give that a try because you can set your exposure with your shutter button and then focus on just focus on the back button focus and then leave it. And then when you press the shutter, your camera won't try to refocus on the subject. It looks like number 43, his number is pretty sharp. It's too bad that the first baseman isn't that way. I think this would have been a lot stronger of a photograph. This one here, again, the photographer is at a lower angle, and you can tell because the top of his head is right at the bottom of the fence line there. Um, the whites in number 43 pants are a little blown out. Again, use that highlight slider and slide it to the left a little bit and get some detail in that and just make it look like it's pants and it's not, you see that and now that's the brightest part of the whole image. And unfortunately, when you see the brightest part of the image, that's every time you look at the image now, that's right where my eye goes. And you guys, you want my eye to go here to the play where the ball, the glove, and the first baseman and the guy on the runner diving back to the bag. But your timing was good on this. So just work on getting the main man in focus, and you'll be doing fine. I've never shot polo. I would always love to do that. So maybe one of these days I'll get out there and do it. Again, I think this image would really been helped by being at a lower angle and making the horse look really large and tall. He's off. It looks like he's off the ground by a foot or so. Man, if you were down on your stomach or you're sitting down on your rear end and you're shooting up, this horse would look like he's a lot higher in the air. But I like the action. I like the ball in front. I like the guy's look on his face. It's unfortunate that the horse in the background is intruding in. So again, I would burn that down, burn the edges down a little bit. You're allowed to do that. That's something that we would do in the darkroom when we shot film. We would sit there on the enlarger and we would just burn and burn and burn and burn on the other side, make a print and say, oh, it's almost there, and burn a little bit more and burn a little bit more and run the print through the processor until we got it the way we wanted it to look. But all of this in the background now is competing with the number 2 guy on the horse and the ball. So don't be afraid to burn. Don't be afraid to get down lower and make the subjects look a little like they're larger than life type of thing. And your images will have be a little more dramatic for the viewer. Okay. Another soccer shot. Looks like it could be raining. And that's hard to do too, because you don't want your gear to get all wet. But yeah, this is a good shot, good action. Again, I would like to see the photographer be lower and have a little different angle instead of something that everybody sees when you stand up and look at this kind of thing. So yeah, when you're watching, a lot of people they sit down in chairs on the sidelines. Some people are sitting on the grass. Do the same thing. Do that as a photographer. Get down low, and I guarantee you're going to see a big improvement in how dramatic your images will look after that. Okay. This one here, it looks like you probably shot this from the stands and you probably couldn't get down lower. This is great action. Unfortunately, the referee's in the way and he doesn't add anything to the photograph. I know you can't do anything to get him out. I don't know. I might even have done a radical crop on this and gotten really close to the number 6's hand on the left. And then I maybe would have cut off that guy's arm, number 6 in the back, because the focus area of this image is the ball and the feet and the number 6. And that's where all the action is. A nice tight shot of that, I think, would have been awesome. So don't be afraid to experiment with your images, and maybe sometimes you just blow them up and see what it looks like. And you might like the results. Another very good volleyball shot. Again, the photographer is down lower. He's not, at standing up eye level. He's a little lower. The guy is diving for the ball. He's just about ready to pop it back in the air. You can see the sand movement, so you can see the motion in the shot. So very nice, nicely done. Another good shot. And see, this is kind of a radical crop on the horse's legs, but that's okay because where's the action? The action is the gun and the balloon, uh, and the guy's face. The horse's head is going up. Great action. So, nice shot. Too bad he missed the balloon, but good action shot.
Okay, that's it.
Oh boy, that was that was really, really good. All right. Can you get them all of them? Yeah, there you go.
And if you need one bigger, just let me know.
Okay. All right. First place, I think, is the number one, the first volleyball shot we saw. This, yeah, that one right there.
Right there.
Yep.
That's called Mine No Mine by John Gelderman, first place.
Very good, John. That's a great shot. Let's go with the girl on the barrel racing for second place, which is the top row. Yes, that one right there.
Okay, that one is called Will Nelly by Andrew Lewis, second place.
Okay, and the Veterans Wall for third place.
Okay. That's called Remembrance by Kathy Newman, third place.
Very good shot, Kathy. All right. Honorable mentions, and there's going to be a lot of them because there's a lot of great images here. So the lady, the second image, the second and third image, honorable mentions.
This one here,
Yes.
California Desperado, David Wilkins, HM.
And then that one there.
And this one is called Goalie Chase by Helen Henry, HM.
Very nice, Helen. Good job. Then the very top on the last one on the right.
This one here,
Is probably John again, right?
that's Harwood Levitates, John Gelderman, HM.
Okay, the one on the bottom in the center.
Okay,
Yep.
let's see who that is. Diving for the Ball by Kathy Newman, HM.
All right, Kathy. And then the girl, the woman, right, go up one. Just move your cursor straight. Move your cursor straight up. That one right there. Yep.
Okay, that is Karzin Can Save by Christy Wilkins, HM.
All right, very nice. You guys did a great job on these. This was a lot of fun, a lot of good images tonight. You made my job really hard. So congratulations to everybody. And anybody got any questions or comments or anything?
Yes, Dave.
You need to tell me that if you're shooting junior college, they will not let you get on the field. You can only shoot from the stand.
Junior college?
Yeah, junior college.
Oh, he said that at the junior college, they only let you shoot from the stands, not from the field, so.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I know.
Yeah.
Even when I was fully credentialed, I sometimes had problems like that. But like when I shot the World Cup at the Rose Bowl and at the Coliseum, we had credentials and we were allowed on the field, and we were right. They've got that little 3-foot wall that surrounds the field, and that's where everybody shot from. When you're shooting UCLA football or USC football, you're not allowed in between the 25-yard lines where the teams are. You have to stay between the 25-yard line, and you can go around the goal line on both sides, but you are not allowed inside the where the teams are. and where the players are. So, I mean, even when you're credentialed, they give you, you know, they tell you where you can and you cannot go. And if you say, well, I'm going, then they'll kick you out, and then you got to explain to your editor why you don't have any images. So, but good job though, you guys. Good job.
And the other thing is on the water, on the polo shot, the polo ponies, if you're on the end, they can run you over, so you've got to be on your feet and ready to move.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a woman in Kansas City who had been covering this football team for 20 years, and she went out early and covered the junior varsity game. And you know, it's one of those freak things that happens. The play came to her, and she didn't move, and she got knocked over by the lineman and the running back. And when she fell backwards, there was a cement ring that went around the field and smashed her head on the cement ring. And 3 days later, her husband took her off of life support and she died. Those things happen. It's unfortunate that they do. You know, covering sports can be very dangerous, and you really got to, depending on the sport, you've got to, you know, be aware of what's going on. And you know, you're absolutely right. If you're in the line of a horse, it's not, that horse is not going to stop, because that's not what the horse is trained to do. And so you know, you gotta weigh what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Yeah.
I know that shooting volleyball inside a gymnasium, I've been hit with the ball, and that, you know, I had the camera up to my eye, and then the ball comes and smacks me in the head and hits the camera and knocks the camera into my face. That hurts. You know, it hurts when you're covering a baseball game and a foul ball gets zinging right into the photo pool, and you get hit by one of those. There was earlier last fall, there was a photographer that at the Dodger game, that $12,000 lens got shattered because a foul ball got hit off and smacked the lens right in the front of the lens, and just totally broke the element. And those 400 2.8s aren't cheap. So, but the thing is if you're shooting sports, if you can get down and get low, your images are going to take a whole different look. And, you know, they're going to be more dramatic. And that's just, you know, it's a learned thing. When I first started shooting sports, I always stood up. And then somebody said, hey, try getting down low. And now I still shoot. I still shoot football. I still shoot baseball, and I'm always down as low as I can get, because you know, I want to make these kids look bigger. The athletes look bigger. The athletes see their image in the paper, and they go, "Oh my God, that's great! Look at that!" And the parents want to buy the image and whatnot. So, do something different, and you'll see a big difference in your photography.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, looks like we're good. Thank you so much, Kevin, for.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me to do this, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. You guys had some great work tonight. You know, don't. I hope you don't think I was too harsh on stuff. I'm just trying to help you improve. And you know, I've been doing this a long time. I've been very fortunate in my photography career, and now I want to give back. And this is one of the ways I can give back to the photography community, by helping and by, you know, judging images, and that helps me as well, because I get out there and I start shooting. I said, well, yeah, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do the other thing. You know, I try to shoot every day. And I know when I do shoot every day, my images get better because I'm always in the flow. So don't let your cameras collect dust on the shelves. Get out there and shoot as much as you can.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you. I just want to remind you about the field trip on Saturday. Don't forget to sign up for that. And, the next Tuesday, Michael Collins with Photoshop. Bring your brains and learn some stuff.
That'll be a good one, guys. Mike's a great guy. He's a fantastic teacher. You'll learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
And he's also teaching at West Coast School, so you want to sign up for his class. That would be 5 days with him in the classroom. And you know, Andrew has gone through his class, and I know he'll back me up on that. So
Very good. Okay, well, we don't have to be out of here till 8, but so hang out, talk to each other, comment about congratulate each other. People who did win, come up and we'll take a picture of the winners up here at the front. And other than that, we're dismissed.
all right, guys, I'm gonna run. Thanks for having me. Next time I'll try to make sure I can come up. I just wasn't able to do it this time, but next time for sure. So thanks again. I'm gonna go have some dinner.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye, guys.